Okay, so while I'm going to read the poem that is on 291, and while I'm reading it, just look at the painting and see. You can read along and look at the painting, and that way you can see the points that are being brought up from the painting. About suffering, they were never wrong. The old masters, how well they understood its human position, how it takes place while someone else is eating or opening a window or just walking dully along. How when the aged are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth, there always must be children who did not specially want it to happen, skating on a pond at the edge of the wood. They never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course. Anyhow, in a corner, some untidy spot, where the dogs go on with their doggy life, and the torturer's horse scratches its innocent behind on a tree. And now this next stanza is definitely in the painting, so you'll be able to see and pull it from there. In Bruegel's Icarus, for instance, how everything turns away, quite leisurely, from the disaster. The plowman may have heard the splash, the forsaken cry, but for him it was an unimportant and important failure. The sun shone, as it had on the white legs disappearing into the green water, and the expensive, delicate ship that must have seen something amazing, a boy falling out of the sky, had somewhere to get and sailed calmly on. So did y'all see what they were talking about in the poem and the painting? What parts did you see?
You want me to go back to the paintings?
No.
You want to pull up?
No, this will be fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You want the paper?
Yeah. Okay, so in the first stanza, we've got a couple of different pieces we want to point out.
Just this.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like these board.
All right, so you can see here where Miss Garrett pointed out a few things that are definitely something you want to put into your notes. We've got the classic artists. Who were they, and what do they think about everything? Or they were never wrong, right? They did everything. They thought they were right. Everything was, they painted it. That's how it was, right? And then when we're talking about its human position, what are we talking about? Feel free to interact. Miss Garrett's going to help y'all out there. Say this. With suffering and
suffering and failure.
Yes, thank you.
I got you.
I read it and I was like, is that what she means?
Am I seeing things?
No, I was like, that's a little too obvious if they grade off the paper. So I was like, they supposed to interpret it somehow?
we like things to be obvious but helpful. There we go. All right, and then we're just walking dully along. And when does that happen?
All the time.
Yes.
There you go.
Good job. It happens all the time. Especially like even when you're walking from class to class, you're just walking dully along, right? You're just doing it. It's just habit. So then when we skip down and we're saying anyhow, what do you usually say anyhow for? Yes, segue. What else? Yes, to be dismissive. I love this. And these are Miss Garrett's favorite two lines. Who wants to read those out loud?
You're just so fun.
Quit
Jacob?
Go, Jacob.
I didn't see which lines were they.
These last two right
Where?
here.
Where the dogs go on with their doggy life and the torturer's horse scratches an innocent behind on a tree.
So what do you think's going on right there?
That's scratching on the tree.
A horse is scratching his back on a tree.
Imagery, yes. It's just imagery. It's giving us an image that we can picture in our mind as to what's going on. All right, so like this says over here, a little cheater, stanza 1 is just a general observation about what humans are experiencing. They're experiencing failure and what else?
Deterministic.
There's
Experiencing what?
there's
Imagery.
failure and look, he's gonna say the same word. He's gonna say imagery the whole time. And suffering while life goes on.
Pain.
Right. So somebody next to you could be
Squirrel,
suffering
sheldon,
and feeling like a failure, but do you realize it?
No.
You may not unless they say something, right?
Because you're worried about the quiz you have next hour and who sent what on Snapchat and all kind of foolishness. Foolishness.
Okay, stanza 2.
Quite the opposite.
So this is where we pulled directly from the painting. And could y'all see what he was saying in the painting?
Yes.
So it says, for instance, how everything turns away. Right? Because something big is going on. Something huge is going on in the sky. But who realizes it?
No one.
Right. The plowman, he might have heard it. He might have heard the splash. He might have thought it was just kids playing in the water, right? Right?
Right.
Right?
And then the ship, the big ship that was there, we saw that with all the pretty sails.
It did look very expensive.
So that might have been, they might have saw it, but then what did they think?
What's the last one?
Oh no, a fish.
I mean, it was his legs just dangling out of there, right? So it could have been a
Mermaid.
big fish, could have been a big dolphin.
Like-
But yeah, so they had somewhere to get. So they were like, you know what? I don't care what that is. We're just going to keep going on about our business. So this one, as I said before, is specific to the painting and how the pain that Icarus was going through, melting, falling, dying, drowning, they noticed none of it.
The last 2 minutes. Structure.
Oh.
So the structure of it, what kind of poem do y'all think this is?
Good one.
A good one? Yeah, I like that.
Structure meaning like stanzas, rhyme schemes, things like that.
Did y'all notice any rhyme in here?
Yes,
You did?
I think.
Go put your finger on it. No, don't. You can't be on camera.
Okay, tell me where you see it. Where you see it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like in the story and all.
No, there is a little bit. You've got away and May and green and seen. There's a little bit,
Oh.
but for the most part, it's just a conversation. Just somebody telling you what they see in the painting. It's like, hey, you know, people will go to a museum and they'll just stand there looking at the art in front of them, and that's just somebody basically conversing what they saw in that painting. So that's what this poem is. And then the tone of it, at first we think, oh, this is nothing. He's just talking about something random. It's just whatever. She was trying to say, somebody say dismissive.
Dismissive. I'm here for y'all.
But like I said earlier, you know, would you know if someone next to you was in pain? If they were feeling like a failure?
Yeah.
So it's kind of telling you, hey, pay attention to your surroundings. See what's going on. Are you being dismissive? Thoughts?
Oh.
What? I can't hear you.
You gotta be able to pay attention and not just like ignore it.
Exactly.
Just consider it.
Exactly.
Remember what we said artists do, right? They hold. Oh, what?
Paper.
No.
That's good.
Oh,
What'd
maybe we.
They do
No,
hold
in
it.
Monday's warm up, we talked about how an artist holds a mirror. Did we not? No,
We
because
did.
Monday was a makeup day.
We did.
We
We
did?
talked about it.
Okay.
We did.
That's right.
I remember
After.
hearing that.
That's fair.
So we had that epiphany moment.
All
Do
right.
you want me to go to the next one?
Epiphany.
Yes, please. All right. So the next one
Two
is on
epiphenes.
page 301.
We're going to do the 2 poems one after the other because they're both fairly short, and then we can look at the notes and quotes all at once. So just for the sake of making transitions easier.
The next poem only has, would you say 56 words?
That's it.
56 words.
That's,
Short and sweet.
do you want to erase your little...
Yeah. They just.
Like me, huh?
How does that make sense?
All right, so this one goes along with that painting as well, and it's called Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. Somebody want to read that out loud? Volunteers?
How about the left column?
Not even. Andrew.
Andrew?
How about a stanza?
Okay, I'll read it. According to Bruegel, why did I say that wrong? When Icarus fell, it was spring. A farmer was plowing his field. The whole pageantry of the year was awake, tingling near the edge of the sea, concerned with itself, sweating in the sun that melted the wings wax unsignificantly off the coast. There was a splash, quite unnoticed. This was Icarus drowning. So what's one thing that this poem is missing?
Imagery.
Oh no,
Not imagery.
I didn't get much.
got a bunch of that.
A rhyme scheme.
Okay. What else? Something he said rhyme scheme. What, like something huge that you have to have in all your sentences?
Oh, period.
Punctuation.
Oh.
Yeah, punctuation. It's huge, right? So how many sentences do y'all see here?
One.
Just it looks like one, right? There's no sentences because there's not a period. So when are we supposed to stop, right?
5, 6, 7.
Keep
5.
going.
Yes. Good job. 5 sentences. All right. So we're gonna go through and I'm gonna mark the sentences for you.
Now y'all have to help her figure out
Once
where
I'm,
the sentences are.
where do y'all think the second one stops? Field. Yep. All right. Now the third sentence is the longest sentence. So where do y'all think it ends?
Wax.
Wax. Yes.
Go Chico.
All right. The fourth sentence.
Unnoticed.
Unnoticed. Yep.
She's dark horse. Sorry.
And the next one,
Shit.
drowning. Or we could actually change this and make this 2 sentences, because what would that change?
If we were to add emphasis or drama,
Let's say we created 2 sentences here and we put a period here and a period here.
now
What
on
does
an
that-
essay, you would never.
Right. But if you were to sit there and have a sentence that says drowning, what would you think?
It's like dramatic.
Yeah, very dramatic. So that changes, instead of saying this was Icarus drowning, it changes it, right? Yes, it does. All right, so we know we're gonna have a period here, and that's already capitalized. We're gonna capitalize this, put a period, capitalize this.
Yeah, go ahead and punctuate yours.
Oh.
Because
Yeah. Put a
reading
period
sentences is less intimidating than reading poems. You're like, I can read a sentence. That's easy.
All right, and then we're gonna go through and we're gonna add some commas. Because commas make sense too, right? They make it to where you know when to pause or take a breath, or what else do commas do? What? Exactly.
Do you need to put anything else up here right now?
I don't think so. So, in the first sentence, where are we going to put a comma?
Bruegel.
Yes. We're just on a roll today. All right, and then the second sentence, do we have a comma?
Mm-mm.
No. How about the third? We've got several, right? Anybody want to tell me where?
Pageantry.
Pageantry is not one.
Ooh.
How about after awake, maybe? Or tingling? You think that deserves a comma, or should we leave it alone?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You wouldn't have said it if there wasn't a comma, huh?
My commas are turning into lines here.
On that.
Alright, and then, alright, so then the next sentence. Oh wait, nope, I've missed 2 commas in this sentence. That wasn't supposed to be there. Anyone? Yep. And the last one?
Itself.
Oh, I was wrong. One more there. All right. And then in the next sentence, we have 2 commas.
Unsignificantly.
Yep.
Oh, coast.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And then in the very last one, are we going to put a comma there?
No.
No.
Do you want to keep it 2 sentences? Do you like drowning as a sentence? Or no?
You
Yes.
don't? You don't like the emphasis it puts in there?
Or does it sound better if it's like, there was Icarus drowning? Like very dismissive.
It's weird. You don't think it's like, it is what it is.
It sounds dope.
All right,
I
so we're
like
gonna,
it.
what do I think?
That's a
Oh.
style choice though, y'all. Like that's something that, yeah, I know you're used to writing paragraphs and stuff in very structured forms, whereas like your topic sentence has to sound like this, and your body sentences have to sound like that. But then once you get good at it, you get to play with style. And this is a style choice, and when it's used well, it's really effective. Here's the others that are brighter.
Okay. I was gonna mark off these. All right, so we've got 2 separations right here. Now, in the spring, everything is what? Everything's growing, yes.
Mhm.
So, words that kind of go along with spring in this first section would be
Plowing.
plowing, yes. What else? Awake, yep.
Pageantry.
Pageantry. One more. Sorry? Spring. Well, we've got spring already, so what else?
Sweating.
Oops.
Sweat.
Oh, yeah, that's in the wrong column.
Oh.
What about on this side right here?
Farmer.
Farmer? No.
It kind of goes with awake.
Tingling.
Yes. Good job. Thanks for the hint, Miss Garrett. Okay. So
Thematically, but you know.
nature, it's happening, right? It's going to happen whether we want it to or not. So what is nature unconcerned with?
It's what other people are doing. Itself.
Nature's only concerned with itself, right? It doesn't worry about anything else.